Did you know that this card is worth more than $10,000 if you use it the right way? And with only an annual fee of $695, this can be a great deal. But you have to be careful, because if you don't use this the right way, then it can also be a very expensive card to have. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use this, the American Express, the right way and make good deals and save a ton of money. So let's get into it. So there's a lot of credit cards out there and they all have different pros and cons. One that a lot of people know about is, of course, the American Express. So one of the greatest things about the American Express is that you get a really big welcome bonus. When I received the card, I got 150,000 points, and right now you can actually get 175,000 points. I put a link in the description so you can check that out. But basically the great thing about having all these points is that you can use them in many different ways, but the way to really max out is by booking flights, and especially business class flights. So I found here a flight from San Francisco to Paris on the 4th of August, and this one is 60,000 miles or points. And then you have to pay $241. And that's basically it for this business class flight. And if I look the same flight, not with points, but just go and I want to pay in cash, then the price is $8,628. Think about how much money you save there. If you took the 60,000 points 3 times, because that's a little more than 175,000 points, then you get 3 business class flights for $695. And versus here, if you take 3 business class flights for $8,628, well, that's $25,000. Then again, there's so many ways to look at this, how much the value is of the card. So much money you save here using points the right way. If it's important for you to fly business class when you do long haul flights, then really here, this is the best way to save a lot of money. So this is the number one thing, to use these points, and I really recommend using mostly for flights, because this is where you can get the most for your points. You can also transfer to hotels, but where you get the most for your money will always be the flights. So already here you save so much money. Then there's also a ton of benefits and awards. There is $200 Uber credit every year. Then there's $200 airline credit every year. Then there's $200 hotel credit every year. And then there's also streaming, $240 a year. And then there's $209 for Clear when you're in the airport, so you can go through the line much faster. And there's a Walmart monthly membership credit, and also many other things. So in general, you get a lot of different benefits here that also gives you a lot of credit on the card. And then the next thing that I really enjoy is the airport lounges, because I fly a lot and I really think it's a game changer. When you go to the airport and you can just have a drink, have some food and relax or work or whatever, makes a big difference, at least for me. I guess the cost normally for enter a lounge is $50 or something like that. And maybe I go to the airport, I don't know, 20 times a year maybe. So then this is also $1,000 credit, more or less, that you can include again in the value of the card. And again, it's super easy. You just go to the airport and you just use the card, and then you can get in and there's no cost. There's some requirements about when you can go into the lounge. Some of them is 3 hours before, some of them is 4 or 5 hours before, or 12 hours before. It really depends. But really, this is something that is really a great thing. So the next thing is the hotel upgrades. So when you have the American Express, it's possible to enroll into the different hotel chains. Then there's also $50 every 6 months at Saks that you can use as a credit as well. So the list is long and there's a lot of value, and I've tried here to calculate how much it really is. Another thing that is really important, and is more a long-term thing, is that you use this credit card the right way. And what I mean with that is that you should only use the American Express for hotel and flights. Of course, you can do a few exceptions in the start when you just get the card and you want to reach the welcome bonus, because maybe you need to spend $8,000 or whatever, and maybe you want to put all your spending on the card. But after that, you should keep it only to flights and hotels. And the reason for this is that when you book a hotel or a flight, then you get 5x points per dollar you spend. Versus if you use the American Express in the grocery store or other things, then it's only 1 point per $1, and that's not very attractive. Then it's better to use Chase Sapphire or the American Express Gold, because that one gives you 4 points if you go to a grocery store or other things. So here again, this is important to know what you're doing. Don't use the American Express for all sorts of random purchases. Use it for the travel related things, and then use other credit cards for the shopping and other daily things. So I think the last thing I want to say is that this card can really be great, and I really like this card, and I'm planning to keep it because I think there's so many great benefits. But again, don't just get this card. Do a little bit of homework. Open a Google Sheet or something like that and try to make a bit of calculations. How many flights are you planning to do? Where you're gonna take flights? Maybe you can look at the airline's websites and see how many points these flights require. In general, like what kind of purchases do you do? Do you use the lounges? Will you use the different credits? And if it's yes, then yes, go ahead and get the card. Then it can be a great deal. But if you don't really know what you're doing and you're happy with whatever you have, then don't do it. So do a little bit of homework before you actually sign up for this card. But again, it can be an amazing card, and I really recommend if you are a person like me that travels a lot and likes all these benefits. I've added the links in the description. Also, I hope you hit the like or subscribe button, or both. And I'll see you again in one of my next videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.